Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Sanasumia. For those of you who are new, welcome in. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button and stick around for the whole video. And to everyone else who are regulars, thank you so much for your support, even though I haven't really done much here. So, I've been trying to record as many of my drawing processes as I can, as I am drawing a lot lately. When I do remember to record something, I try to share something to TikTok or Instagram Reels, maybe even YouTube Shorts. In a few videos I have uploaded, people ask me how I went from a grayscale to fully colored drawing. It's not common to see people color in this way, and to be honest, I didn't start to color that way until recently. So I'm here to share my findings with you all, my in-depth coloring process. I'm going to start off where in the time lapse I really started shading, starting off with the face, which is my absolute favorite. I like to make sure my faces look extra shiny, like they have a perfect skin routine. In order for the full result to come through looking absolutely scrumptious, it's important to color depth through values. So anything that is protruding you want to make lighter, and deep set things or shadows of course are going to be darker. So for the eyes here, I made sure to shade the eyelids darker and then make the brow bow accentuate by highlighting it. If you're into doing makeup also, then you'll definitely understand this. It's all about contouring when it comes to the face. But if you're not really into makeup, then it's best to look for a face guide or references like Head Model Studio, which is an app you can download on your iPad. I'm not saying you're doomed, but we all had to start somewhere. Also, this is really important to remember. Always blend. That is why I love Clip Studio, because of the blending brush that comes with the app, and this one really mixes the colors. It doesn't just make things look blurry, then you get that nice sleek and polished look. I also recommend highlighting first and then going back to place your darker values, because you want to figure out where the light hits your character first to know where to shade. If you think about it, it just makes sense to do it that way, because light creates shadows, not the other way around. As for the hair, I really like it to look sleek. This is where layering is important. I want the hair to look glossy and have volume to it. To do this, I make two separate layers for the hair, and this is both going to be in grayscale. I make a gradient first composed of where the hair shines and then where it darkens, and on top of that shade it with mid-tone values and shadows. I don't need to shade with highlights here because the darker tones are making them for me. In the end, I got a really nice sleek look that I can fix up later on. The hair is just a whole trust the process thing on its own, I'm not gonna lie, because at first it looks like you have no idea what you're doing, and then you turn around and bam! A complete hot mess disguising itself as perfection, much like me. The eyes, I also like to make a new layer and then merge afterwards, and I'll probably make another video explaining how I color them, but to put it simply, I start by making two overlapping crescents for the space just underneath the lash, and then the little space made by crescents, then shade lighter, and then just go back with highlights to make it look pretty, and then when I'm all done with the eyes, blur the edges, and then add, effects and highlights later on. I didn't show the clothing part here because most of that is understanding shadows and whether the clothes are fitted or loose, whether layers of the fit are opaque or not, the materials and such. It's a lot really when it comes to clothes, and the way you shade them determines its texture. Now it's time to add color. And it's funny, this is probably the one time where it's okay to shade with black and not have it look muddy. For those of you who shade with purple, I have no excuse for you. So when it comes to adding color, you play a lot with the layer properties. In order, the layers I use are lighten, subtract, soft light, multiply, overlay, normal, and add. I'll explain these each in their own. Lighten is primarily for the line art. Using an airbrush in dark red close to burgundy, you shade in the darkest areas of your subject. Here, that will be where the shadows are, even the lashes. What this would do is automatically color your line art and add a nice hazy gradient to your colors. The next step is not necessary, but I like to do this to add an extra seasoning or pop to my art, and that's using the subtract layer. First, I made a duplicate of all the grayscale stuff, the coloring, the line art, everything that is literally not in color. These should all be under one folder, as the rest of the layers are going to be clipped on top of that folder. Then, taking this duplicate, I then use a thermographic gradient map. The darker values will now be dark blue, and the lighter ones will run all the way to red, pink, then white. Play around with these to get the most colors as you can. Then I turn this layer to about 20%. The soft light layer is next, and this is where all my flat colors are. Any gradients, for example, of the hair, skin of the character will go on this layer as a base color. Now, I've seen people turn this layer to multiply, but I think it's too dark for my own taste. I set it to soft light instead. This makes the details still visible to me, and when I go to saturate the colors using multiply or overlay, there'll be some unsaturated parts I can fix. It's gonna look really muddy or grayish here, but once again, it's a trust the process kind of thing. Multiply layers next, and like I mentioned, this is where I saturate parts of the drawing. This kind of saturation is on the darker side, while when I overlay it, it brightens it. I only really want to add color values to multiply layers, so for example, the skin, I'll add orange or red or even yellow, and the hair, green and blue in this case. I try to make each main color have two subcolors. To add these values, I'll make a duplicate of the soft light layer, but keep it to normal so I can quickly select the color and work on that one part. The overlay layer can quickly make things too bright, so I just add light highlights to things that should be highlighted, like her nose, eyebrow, lips, shoulders, knuckles, collarbones, and add more color to her fur coat and her hair. Now in this case, for her fur coat, I want it to be like kind of holographic or something that has a lot of pearlescent features to it. On the last two layers, I then render everything, or as much as I can. This is different from coloring. This rendering is just making things look better. Normal layer is for doing the lashes, adding the blue shading to her neck, fingers, and I like to add loose strands of hair. The normal layer is also time to fix any color impurities, so if a color isn't mixing well on a tiny part, you could just grab a brush and color over it. On the add layer, I just add effects and pretty shiny things. And you're all done. Just adding those extra details to your liking. You can add a background or you can leave it blank. It is definitely up to you. If you made it out this far, enjoy the rest of the speed paint video and thank you for watching. Just to let you know, this is also my first Draw This in Your Style challenge to reaching 1,000 followers on TikTok. I'm going to put more information in the description of the video. Feel free to join. Find me on Instagram to submit your entry, or YouTube, or on TikTok. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.